To another episode of the Cinnamon and Spice Podcast.
Where ain't sweet.
Ain't nothing at all, honey. I am Ak.
And I'm Nye.
And yes, welcome back, y'all, to another episode. I'm sure y'all read the title already.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all know what's going on.
Okay.
Like, it's time to get a little deep with y'all, because we like to get deep with y'all for a little bit. I mean, we deep with each other. So
Yeah, but now we deep with y'all.
It's time to get a little deeper. Yeah, we test out a few videos to see, how participation went, and yeah. But I don't know. This one hits home for me. I feel like, especially because I feel like it does for both of us a little bit. But yeah, just mental health in general. But yeah, like in our community, especially, like mental health is. It's a funny thing. Like, we don't really talk about it, right? Like, and people, they have their own opinions on it, on what it means, if it's real, like what it looks like, all those type of things. Like, but why do you think like we ignore it so much? Like, we rather just ignore that stuff than address it, just as individuals and as a community in a whole.
I'll tell you.
Why?
There's only one reason.
What?
Slavery.
Ooh.
And I would just call it like some people be scared to sit there and say, oh, some stuff it stems from something. Like, we didn't just decide as a group that we were just not going to focus on ourselves and our mental, what we can hold, we were never given an opportunity as people to sit in our traumas and feel those through. Immediately
and
after,
to be validated
literally, because immediately after slavery, we go into the Jim Crow era, which we were treated poorly, and we're told, well, at least you got a bathroom, well, at least you got a restaurant, well, at least you can like we were never able as people to just sit in our like traumas and figure out like, damn, okay, after they just finished whooping our asses, killing our kids, raping our women, beating our husbands, like after they did all of that and let us back out, we were still expected to continue on as people. So if I had to like figure out why it started, I most definitely will go back there. And I will say that was the start of it. I do feel like at some point you do have to like put it into your own hands in the sense of like, okay, I understand this is wrong. I see why this happened, but what can I do as an individual to move forward past that? And I think that's where we're at now. So it has been something where like we're starting to have these conversations. It sucks because even after slavery, there was situations where like even like our men are told like at a very, very young age, like don't do all that crying. What you crying for?
Yeah.
Men don't cry. What?
Yeah.
What?
You shouldn't feel that
like
way.
It's that like like there was, I don't know, so it's like we haven't had that opportunity to sit in it and just like, okay, where do we go from here?
The strong black women, we talked about that.
But don't nobody care about the fact that you had to sit here and get up every day and work and take care of them kids and make sure they had everything that they needed, because you better not say you ain't got it.
That part.
You better not say you ain't had the money for it.
Right.
Although you're getting paid the least amount of everybody and still expected to keep this house moving forward. So yeah. I feel like you definitely
hit the nail on the collar.
We need to blame. Okay, I got one for you.
I can't even. There's nothing else to say on that one.
Yeah.
I can't even. You got that. Cause hell yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put that trump card every time.
Every time, girl.
Now, this is a good starter point though. How do we minimize the stigma around mental health for our black men, for our elder people? Like, being that for a while they were forced to not even because they were forced for a while to not even address it. So now, like, how can we dismantle that, unlearn it?
I think that's the hard part, right? That's really the hard part, especially for like men and elder people, because of how they were, like how it was beaten into them and how it was instilled into them. I think we gotta keep talking about it. First of all, I think talking about it is big, because the more people run away from those conversations, like we say, like some of these conversations are really hard to have, right? With yourself with your friends, your partner, your family. These are really tough conversations. So it's first like accepting it yourself that, you know, maybe, you know, it's not that bad. You know, maybe having different perspective for one. Because I think when people, there's a lot of negative connotation to mental health and therapy and all of that stuff. So it's like, maybe try to go into it open to having a different perspective first. And then that maybe lead you into being more comfortable with having different conversations with people so that you can get a different perspective and so that you can be like, okay, maybe I can consider that, you know, because, or maybe, you know, that is something I need to think about. Maybe I do need to see a therapist, or maybe I do need to look into the mirror, take, you know, do something different for myself that makes me happy, you know. Conversations, I think that'd be a good way to start. Like, I just think a lot of people are running away from them. And so I think when we can have these conversations, and I say conversations because those conversations need to lead into therapists. Like, we barely want to talk. A lot of people don't want to go to therapy because they're like, oh, I don't want to tell these people my business. I don't want to be judged, you know.
But then you put your business on Facebook. I know everything.
And even for the people who don't do the whole posting on Facebook, my thing is, if you don't have no outlet and you just have this, you bottled up whatever type of mood, emotion in you that's not positive, you need to talk to someone.
You need to get that out of your body.
You need to talk to someone. You need to figure out how to address that.
Because even if you don't feel safe with someone who's licensed to take care of that, can we write it down?
Something
like we have to find different outlets,
like touching grass, just going out and being in the sun. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Finding something that helps you deal with it. It's going to look different for everyone.
It does.
It really does look different for everyone. But acceptance and actually being okay with talking about it is a really good start.
I used to put that D word on myself all the time, talking about depressed. Whole time, baby, you just need to go outside.
Yeah.
And let the sun kiss you.
Yeah.
And now look at you.
You need to open the blinds in this room, girl. This dark old room.
Girl, get that old air out.
I had to stop buying blackout curtains because I realized that was keeping me in a depression.
Yeah, I'll stay. Girl, it'll be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but you couldn't tell.
And you can't tell. I'm sleeping. What?
The room
in college, girl, was bad.
I got to pick the color of my room when I was like living with my dad. And I picked something similar to this. It was like a charcoal black, yeah. And then I still had my blackout curtains. And girl, which I still love that color. But it could have just been a one side wall, like an accent wall. Yeah. No, my whole room was that color, and it was such a cute color. Yeah. But it does wonders on your mental health being around like people don't realize like your emotions can be tied to colors. Like put some yellow.
Yes, put some white in there. Not saying all white.
Maybe like help.
Greens, oranges, pinks, maybe. You know, I'm a pink girl, so I would love an all pink room. You know, with some cute fluffy pillows. That'd make me feel happy. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, but for sure, people need to just accept that more and be more okay with it. Yeah, have a more open mind.
But we do need to extend each other grace too, though. A lot of it. Because you have to understand, like, not everybody grew up how you grew up. Or some people grew up worse than how you grew up. Or better. Whichever kind, but they did not grow up how you did. So some people might already have it instilled in them, like, oh yeah, baby, I got me a couple of therapists on speed out. Where some are like,
we shouldn't be belittling people about it.
Exactly, because they're like, oh damn, like, okay, you talking to a therapist, I never even spoke about my emotions. People don't even know how I'm feeling.
So
I don't even know how I'm feeling. So it's like you have to.
On top of grace, being gentle with people. Yeah, and really
meet them where they
are.
Not
being hard on people about it and beating them down for it, because like you said, everybody grew up differently. Everybody have their own thought process and mindsets on mental health and therapy. So meet them where they're at. You know, really try to help them understand and really try to get it across to them in a way they would understand. Because you can't. That's why a lot of people be like so like defensive and be rejecting it so easily, because of the way people are pushing it on them.
They think it's somebody that's just sitting on the table talking to them. Your mother was shitty.
Right.
Like, bro, they're not casting judgment on you. Like,
if that is your therapist,
find another therapist.
You need to find another
because that's another thing. Don't be scared to find somebody who like do the work to find someone who looks like you or who specializes in the areas where you need them. Like, and nowadays, like 2025, in comparison to even something as low as like fucking 2014.
Yeah.
The amount of resources that we have now versus before is completely different.
It's insane.
You ain't got nobody to talk to, bitch. Talk to ChatGPT.
It's funny you say that because my literal next question was, how do you feel about having to go through a few therapists to find the right one?
Oh yeah. That's like wine, for example.
Or dating.
You know how many you know how many damn things you have to try new things. Not everybody's your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Because and also not all skin folk can folk.
Mm-hmm.
So just because that person is a black therapist doesn't mean that's your therapist.
Yeah.
That person might not
align.
Yeah, like they're what they specialize in might be traumas or might be just like
they may have their own perspective.
Exactly,
like,
that isn't helpful.
My therapist is not only a black woman, but she is not too much older than me.
Okay.
So it's like
so she could kind of
her outlook on the world is not too much different from mine.
Yeah.
Aside from a woman who's maybe has me in 20, 25 years plus, who you know how the older black women can be. They think completely differently and have different expectations and standards for things than maybe someone closer to us. So those things matter. Like you kind of gotta. It sucks. It's not.
But you gotta take that into account.
Like I said, it kind of is like dating. Mm-hmm. Like if you care enough about your mental health and you feel like, you know, you do want to invest in it, and therapy is the way you want to invest in it, you have to be open and okay with maybe that person is not the one you're gonna be with. Forever.
But that doesn't mean therapy doesn't work.
That's not what that means.
Just because that first person.
It also does not mean like you don't need it.
And also remember,
because you may still
those
need
people are still humans.
Yeah.
So there's some people who be having bad days.
Most therapists have their own therapist, y'all.
Yeah.
Because to take on all of art,
okay,
I expect them to be dumping theirs onto somebody. Shout out to my therapist. I doubt you're watching this, but if somehow I came across your timeline. Shout out to you, girl. I'm not even gonna drop your name or nothing, but you know who you are. You're amazing, girl. You are getting me through some really good things in life. Shout out to her. Shout out to her, but yeah.
Do you think self-care plays a role in mental health?
Yeah. Just think about women, women, for instance. We be like, I wasn't depressed, I just needed my hair done.
Okay. Cause baby,
I wasn't depressed. I just needed a day out with my girl. You feel me? Like, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A day with you stink will put me right back in.
Okay, literally.
It's like a reset.
Okay. It's like
what was I saying about again?
It's like the chiropractor just resets
just cracked the hell out of me.
Aligned
the hell out of my spine, you know? Yes. Absolutely. I think it's important that, I mean, if you're not taking care of yourself, that's why. Yeah, that's why a lot of people end up in
that is a sign of depression too, not taking care of yourself. So it's like,
if you ain't taking care of yourself, then you probably need a therapist. Or let me stop saying that, because you may not need a therapist, but you may just need a hobby.
Yeah.
That's
an outlet.
That doesn't have something to do with work.
Yeah, something outside of work.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because the amount of people, our people included, and I want to say especially, that we get stuck in a cycle, and that is all we'll do.
Instead of finding a hobby, we want to find another job. Sweetie, we get it. The money is the motive. But
don't let the money be everything. Like,
don't let the money make you or encourage you or dictate you, baby. It's okay to live your life.
Money's not enough.
It's not.
Like, they love to say, like, you know how, like, they'll say, like, oh, love's not enough. Money is not enough. Money is not enough to put up with, like, certain stuff. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. Like, you
can't buy happiness. You can to an extent. However, it's not going to keep you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta find something to buy to keep that happy.
My bad for cutting you off. Right?
But no, that's fair. Like, I don't know. I've talked about that even in like my job, for example. Like, they were talking about extended hours, and me, I see in the future. So if y'all are trying to extend it here, that means at some point y'all are gonna try to make that a set shift of extended. And they're like, oh well, but the money. I'm like, bro, but the taxes. I'm not even seeing the money. What are you talking about?
But my personal life.
Yeah, like, what about the fact that I do?
But I don't like seeing y'all all the time. Right, like, but work-life balance.
Okay, I had seen this post today that was like, oh yeah, there's 24 hours a day, and this is how it should be broken up. And they did, like, they had the damn journaling, praying, gym, work, sleep, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, and what y'all fail to realize is and although that is the makeup, there's still so much that's not accounted for.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about the travel time.
Right.
To get the work.
Restaurant breaks.
Okay, like there's 24 hours, but there's
time
still not enough.
Your mom,
yeah, there's still not enough time in breathe, the day. Like
maybe? Time for error.
I seen 4 hours of just because time. I said, girl, I'll take. First of all, I need to redo my 24 hours because I got 4 hours in the commute alone.
Okay.
So there goes my flight time. Like
I think the whole like. Even people trying to push like, oh, we all need to be waking up at the crack of damn dawn and doing all this. Man, do what's best for you.
It's not realistic.
Do what's best for you, right? Do what's best for your mental health. If you allow social media and all this other stuff to dictate like how you feel like you need to live your life.
Okay, because baby, not everybody got time to get up at 11 o'clock and start their day.
No facts. 11 o'clock.
I've seen like there's like the social media will have you feeling like you're so behind on time, and they'll do that whole little time lapse of their day, and they not even clocking in the work until 11.
Oh.
Yeah, babe, you got a different type of.
Well, I'm clocking at 10, so.
Yeah, I love your 10, but I'm just saying, shit. But to that, you can manipulate your hours differently.
Yeah, I can.
Or even if like.
And I work from home, so.
And that's what I'm saying. So you might actually have that 4 hours that bitch was talking about to yourself. Yeah. Or you might not.
And I use that 4 hours to sleep.
We're not even talking about that. You still got two dogs looking at you.
Yeah.
So even like that's where I'm like, bro, there's still more to life than just like just that.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed. 100% agreed. Let's see. I feel like we kind of already answered this, or kind of a little bit, but what do you think is holding a lot of our people back from going to therapy? Or just being more open to it? I think it's laziness.
Yeah, bro, you just gotta find it now.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't say everybody in our community, but for the most part, we all are coming to a certain sense of like, wait a minute, the shit that's been done previously ain't necessarily the right way of doing things.
Yeah.
Let's try something new.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of us coming up on the, okay, well, the way that my mom did it isn't right. The way my dad did it isn't right. So I want to do something differently. But they're not understanding like, okay, well, because you're not necessarily speaking with that person on like, okay, say this is a therapist or a outlet to like articulate, okay, damn, what happened that you want to be so different of? You falling back into the same exact cycle. So it's like, damn, like, let's find where you can intercept that and then do something different.
So, yeah, I think some people are in denial as well.
Yeah. It
goes back to what you were saying, and then I think denial plays a part in that for a lot of people as well. Just
denial is a river in Egypt.
Yeah, no, for real. Because even though some people may realize their parents may have did it differently, and they're trying to break those generational curses or traumas or whatever the case may be, are you willing to accept the fact that you yourself may need the help? Because you can recognize that change needs to be done.
The fault in everybody else.
But what all are you doing to actually make the change? Because sometimes people be like, well, I don't do this and this like my parents, so I'm making a difference. Yeah, but you still may be passing on that trauma in a different way. Yeah. Or you may do that in a different way if you haven't really addressed it. Because it's one thing to, like I said, move differently than your parents did or try to do it differently than your parents, but how are you really addressing that trauma to like let it go and recognize what it is and why you move that way and all of that, so you can do it not only differently than your parents but just healthier. Yeah. Like, we gotta let go of that denial for sure, and I think that a lot of people are in denial.
So what is some advice you would give to like our community that is like on the fence about going to therapy or like wanting to take their mental health seriously? Like, what advice would you give them?
I say, just be open to different perspectives. I think that's a really big one. Be more open to other perspectives. The minute you are, and the minute you accept that therapy is not for crazy people, or whatever the case may be. Like,
they hear therapy, they hear psychiatry.
Yeah, they think you ain't got taking meds and stuff. And I'm like, it's literally not like that.
House.
You don't have to tell anyone about you being in therapy. No one has to know that you're going to, like, you don't need, what you're going to therapy for, that is literally can be between you and your therapist, okay? So it's like, people just need to be open to open to hearing different perspectives. And yeah. Definitely. And just taking on to
just do it.
And understanding it's not,
just find that first step.
That therapy is not the problem. It may be the therapist.
Yeah.
It may be the therapist. Just like you said on the marriage episode. Marriage is beautiful, it's the people who's not. Marriage is perfect, it's the people who's not. Therapy can be really perfect, it's the people who's not. Those therapists are still humans, you're still human. Y'all may not mesh.
Yeah, get that space for that, yeah.
Just be open and don't shut down too easily. give it a good try.
I like that.
Because some people will go one freaking appointment, and because that first appointment is really nothing but an assessment, essentially. And with most therapists, you do an assessment before the appointment, but that first appointment, when y'all actually talk and whatever you share with them, because I don't think people understand, your therapist can only go off of what you give them.
Okay.
So if you go in there lying to them,
that's what they about to talk to you about.
They're going to talk to you about all your lies. So you have to be able to be real with yourself, so you can be real with your therapist. Tell them exactly, and go in there, come on, be for real. What are you in there for? Why do you think you're in there? Go in there with the right intentions to figure out what it is with you need to address and handle. And again, stop lying to your therapist. They can't help you if you keep lying to them.
Okay, they can't. They can't. Also, be open to no expectation when going in there. Because when I did my my sessions, I thought, okay, this can go either way. Like, I might be in here balling. They might bring up all these traumas. They might want to bring up this.
And that could all be true.
All this.
Yeah, that could all be
true. Man, I told you that lady had me quit my job.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even get to
the job I met her at.
I didn't even get to the nitty gritty of what I thought we were supposed to talk about. Like, we didn't open up on, like, my childhood. We didn't open up on my past relationships. We didn't open up on, we didn't even get there. I said, step one.
The problem was the work job.
I said, step one. We gotta get rid of this stress that's stressing me now. Like, fuck the previous stress. I need this stress.
We can talk about that later, but we gotta get away from this.
And like literally, all my first couple sessions was nothing but work.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much work was like impacting me at home, impacting like house, like interacting with folks. I told you I hated that 10 to 7. Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Especially there, it's how the break is set up too.
Literally. Yeah. And then like, with my commute and stuff, it's just like, okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm getting let out now. I'm not getting home until damn near 9 o'clock. Like, it was just.
And then, God forbid, I got you out.
Don't let us be doing something. Okay, like.
On work night. You gotta wake up at 5 to do it all again tomorrow. So
like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Definitely.
But going there with no expectation. A quote I will leave y'all with that I really like hold close to my heart is expectation is the root of all heartbreak. And that can be used in a lot
of things.
A lot of things.
So take that as
But yeah, when you go into therapy, like, don't think like, oh, it's gonna be like this. They're gonna be judging. They're gonna be doing like, bro, do that episode of damn SpongeBob where he just threw everything in the fire and all the file cabinets and got rid of everything and
just let it all out.
Yeah, just go in there with an open mind.
Like, yeah,
let
it all out. I remember with my current therapist, my very first session with her, and that's crazy because I just mentioned this to her the other day when I had the session. I said, I remember my first session, like, I cried like 4 or 5 minutes into the session and then was damn near in tears the entire hour session. And gradually, as I've seen her more, because I see her twice a month, so since I've, like, after seeing her at this point, I don't even know how many times, I don't cry in my sessions anymore.
Yeah.
Right? The first couple sessions, like, I was like,
there's some shit
I'm telling you, I had so much to get off my chest about so much stuff, right? And then now I go into these conversations with her, I'm smiling, I'm upbeat, like, I'm excited to talk to her because I know that at the end of that conversation,
you leaving with tools.
Yes.
That's the other part they don't talk about.
Yes.
The tools.
The
like, they will give you tools
me
to work on. Like, Yeah.
That's why it's important not to lie to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can give you the proper
that
tools.
will help. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, well, when you're feeling like this, try this instead.
Try this. They're giving you different things. They're sending you different techniques. Sending you different files to read over, different assessments,
I
just
used to send like cute little videos.
Yeah,
real short videos. It might be a minute or two long.
Yes,
but at the end of the video, you like, wait a minute. I didn't think Sarah was talking about none, but Sarah might be.
She might have ate that. She might have ate that.
That one little thing.
She might have ate that. So yeah, definitely go into that thing and have no expectations.
Yes,
I agree wholeheartedly with that. Yes, that was good.
I agree.
That was good.
I agree.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Do you have a therapist? Are you looking for one? Are y'all having trouble finding some?
Right.
I don't know.
What are other ways that y'all feel like people can deal with mental health issues outside of therapy, you know, and maybe talking to their close ones? Because I think maybe therapy isn't always for everyone. So y'all drop y'all's opinions in the comments. Let us know how y'all feeling. How did y'all like this episode? I liked it.
Yeah.
I love always talking to y'all about, you know, my feelings and feelings. I love talking to y'all.
Okay.
But yes, make sure y'all are liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, sharing, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing.
Hit that little bell for us.
Yes, please. Every follow counts, and we appreciate everyone.
Okay. Can't wait to see y'all next Monday
at
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
Sharp. Okay.
Never late.
Because them videos be ready.
Never late.
Locked and loaded, ready to
Never
go.
late. Y'all can't doubt us. Don't ever sleep on Cinema.
Are they coming? 5:59. Are they gonna be there?
It's loaded the day before. It's on there for you already. Just give it to 6, okay?
6 o'clock will be there.
But yes, we will see y'all next time. Bye.